So we're talking about the heart chakra. Really, really excited for the heart chakra. There's so much to talk about um, with the heart chakra. I've actually had quite a hard time of deciding what to focus in on today. But what I've decided to focus in on is something called forgiveness and acceptance. So you will need, which I haven't actually written anywhere, you will need a piece of paper and a pen. So I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes just to grab that and then come on back and find an easy cross-legged position. If you've got a candle with you today and some incense, as always, really, really nice to light those. I've moved rooms and I've stupidly left my candle downstairs, but I thought I would be early today instead of being late, so I I haven't got my candle for you, I'm afraid. But I'm here. Okay, good. So hopefully you've got your piece of paper, a pen, some incense, a candle. Feel free to light them and come and we'll all meet together in Sukhasana. Okay, so the heart chakra. It is obviously centered in your heart zone, and it extends, the sort of physical area of the heart chakra extends to your shoulders, your arms and your hands. I kind of love that idea that everything that we touch is to do with our heart chakra. And if the heart chakra is all about compassion and kindness and unconditional love, I really like that idea that everything we touch should be with that same kind of essence. The heart chakra deals with those feelings that are constant. That deals with a way of explaining that maybe is that if someone were to hurt you or break up with you, let's say, and you were still able to find some way of loving them or find some way of offering them compassion and kindness, easier said than done, but if you were able to do that, then that would fall into the heart chakra. If somebody broke up with you and you were full of hatred, kind of, which, let's face it, is usual, then you kind of zoom down to the sacral chakra and have to do some work there before hopefully you can then come back to the heart chakra and deal with it in a different way when when the heat of that pain has passed. So the way in which we can cultivate feelings of compassion and kindness and unconditional love in the heart chakra is through forgiveness and acceptance. We cannot feel the extent of the freedom and ease, the potential that we have there in the heart, if we are feeling resentful and bitter and full of hatred and full of negativity. We have to just let that go. And actually, the only person that holding on to those things is going to affect is you. And that's the really galling bit, isn't it? Like somebody hurts you and they hurt you really, really badly, and you're full of this kind of pain which comes into the heart as kind of like this sort of feeling of absolute bitterness and hatred even, I guess. And all that's doing is eating you up inside. The other guy or the girl or whoever it is that's upset you likely won't even know that that's what you're going through. They won't know and probably won't care. They'll be just kind of moving on, getting on with their own stuff and leaving you with this kind of all-consuming kind of, horridness really in your heart. So we have to forgive that person in order to move on. Quite often we actually have to start by forgiving ourselves. and accepting ourselves for who we are, for the journey that we've come on, and in accepting ourselves, you know, in our entirety, in sort of everything that has gone on to make us who we are right now, in this moment right now, and forgiving ourselves for the mistakes that we've made, if we've caused upset to anyone else. If we can do that, then we get the most amazing thing that we could possibly ever get for ourselves, and that is a freedom in the heart that enables us to love everything, to love life, to love people, to love our bodies, to love our minds, to love nature, to love everything. And with that comes that deep and wonderful sense of connection. And connection is, of course, what we're all about, finding that sense of connection again. So we've got to release these feelings, and we have to do that through forgiveness. How are we going to do that? Well, we are going today, I'd like us to write a little letter, and I'm going to sort of set you that task, if you like, right at the end of our discussion today, because there's something hugely transformative about the process of getting something out of your head and onto paper, just literally getting it out of you physically. And we'll talk a little bit more about this in a second, this letter writing that we're going to do in at the end of the session. But I just want to say that don't come to that with any preconceptions of who you feel you're going to be writing to. Quite often in the moment, when we allow ourselves to feel fully, we realise that the person or thing or circumstance that we need to forgive is not necessarily what we originally thought it was. So a reminder to come to that practice with a real open mind there. The other thing that we can do, as we've done before, is an affirmation. And really, we know now that with mantra and affirmations, it's the same kind of thing, essentially. It's a little sentence that we can repeat to ourselves for positive effect. And if we repeat something enough, our brains will believe that that's the truth. I think there's that lovely, lovely saying, which is, show me I'm going to really screw this up. Something like, show me the thing that someone's worrying about and I'll show you the man. I'm going to find that out because it's a brilliant quote and it's just kind of gone from my mind. But that idea that, you know, we become what we think, whatever we fixate on, that's kind of what we become. And we can use that to our advantage with mantra and with affirmations. So let's have just a little moment to think about the idea of acceptance. Before we go into our affirmation, we need to accept that this is where we are. This is what's happening now. We don't have any control over what has happened up until this point, and we don't have any control really on what happens from this point onwards. All we have is the present moment, and if we can accept that this is our present moment, and we can almost write off the past as a kind of necessity for our soul's journey, if you like, through life, then we can move forward from this moment with an open and easeful and big heart, ready to say yes to everything that comes our way and ready to love with every bit of us. So I'd like you to just close your eyes, come to an easy cross-legged position if you're not already there. Gently raise the hands on the knees, palms up, and close your eyes. Acceptance is hard for us. Acceptance of where we're at, of the fact that this is what's happening now, however painful it might feel, however hurtful things were or things are, this is what's happening now. And we can accept that those things are happening now by looking for the positive, by looking for the things to be grateful for, even in the darkest of our times. And I invite you to say this mantra after me, either silently in your head or out loud. I am courageous, resilient, and strong, and I accept my life exactly as it is right now. There is so much to be grateful for. I am courageous, resilient, and strong, and I accept my life exactly as it is right now. There is so much to be grateful for. Just feel the sense of freedom and ease that comes from releasing negativity and instead accepting that this is what's happening now. Make a pledge to yourself that you will strive to live in this moment, this present moment, because this is the only moment we have. Inhale, exhale. And gently breathe the eyes open. So you can take that affirmation with you, and just remember that sometimes it does take courage and resilience and strength to forgive and to accept, but know that there is always something there. You will always be able to find something to be grateful for. Okay, so on to the task that I'm going to sort of leave you with. It's a task just literally that you can do on your own, and I kind of invite you to do it straight after this now, because hopefully you're set up in a quiet space. Hopefully you have like a candle and some incense. And what we're going to do is literally, you're going to close your eyes and allow a moment of pain from your past to come to you. And just allow it. Allow whatever comes up with that to come up. And keeping the eyes closed, just feel it. Quite often we do everything we can to not sit with our pain, to not be present with our trauma and the feelings that brings us. But in this instance, just sit with it, go with it. And whenever you feel motivated to do so, all I want you to do is pick up your pen and just start writing. Address it to whoever you feel needs to be addressed to. And as I said, be open-minded towards this. Try not to have any sort of preconceived ideas of who this letter is going to be for. And just write. And write and write, a stream of consciousness. Whatever comes out, don't censor it, don't censor a word, just let yourself write. And when you've finished writing, what I'd like you to do is fold up your paper, and when it's safe to do so, so preferably outside if you have a fire pit or somewhere that you can safely set fire to your piece of paper, then just burn it and watch the words go. Watch the words, and with the words, the pain just go. come back in, blow out your candle, and off you go.